you don't think too much as you're getting older, which I don't know, I probably should have, but you don't. Time goes by, you're concentrating on living your life and doing your things day to day, and time's going by. So I guess I wasn't thinking about it as much as I probably should have been. G'day guys, it is currently 4 p.m. on a Wednesday in the middle of May 2024, and I'm out on my walk. I actually went for this same walk this morning. It's about 7.5 k's, but I thought I'd do it again. It's a beautiful afternoon. So I'm 61 years old, and ever since I was 20 or 21 years old, off and on, at this time of day during the week I'd be normally coaching tennis. So 4 o'clock in the afternoon I was coaching tennis 6 days a week, 5 or 6 days a week. Years ago I actually coached 7 days a week for a little while, but 4 o'clock in the afternoon is like peak time for tennis coaches coaching kids. So this is a big change for me, not to be coaching at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But it's a beautiful day today, so I thought I'd get out and go for another walk. So what I want to do is I want to do YouTube as much as I can, like full time if I can. So the only way to do that, all the YouTube gurus say, is to practice talking on camera and doing lots and lots of videos. So I started a couple of days ago, and I want to do this type of vlog every day and see if I get better at talking on camera. I've already got a YouTube channel, but I think I've got 530 subscribers at the moment as of May 2024, so I need to get up a lot more than that if I'm going to do full-time YouTube. You need to have thousands of subscribers. So yeah, this is to practice, so you guys can be the judge if I'm getting better or not. There's a lady up ahead of me with a couple of dogs, and she's looking at me as if to say, what the hell am I doing holding a camera up? I'll show you these dogs as we go past. Here they come. Hey puppies. There you go. So I'm in a suburb called Chirnside Park, which is in the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne, Australia. I grew up in Melbourne, for the people that don't know. So Melbourne has always been a fantastic city. It seems to be changing a bit the last few years, I think. It was voted like the most livable city in the world, I think for 5 or 6 years in a row, before the pandemic. So, and I think most people living in Melbourne would agree it's a great place to live. But over the last couple of years it seems to have changed a bit. Not in a great way, I'd say. Anyway, still very lucky to live in Melbourne, I think. So it's very green, lots of fresh air, which is great, very lucky. So yeah, this walk that I go on, I'm going to take you on the same walk that I do every morning. So it's a good walk. this time of year now, it's pretty cold. Like I think this morning when I went for my walk it was only 5 degrees. So pretty cool. Now, I think now it's about 16, something like that. A beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. So this is a little local park here. Guy playing basketball just down there. So this estate's maybe 10 or 12 years old. This used to be a golf course. So my parents bought a place here that their house backed onto the golf course. So they bought this place in 1990, and the reason they bought it is because it backed onto the golf course, which was which was fantastic. Here comes another dog. Good mate, how are you? Hey puppy. So lots of dogs around here. People walking their dogs. Yeah. Anyway, so this whole estate, and I'm going to be walking around this afternoon, was a golf course. Really nice. It's a country club. 18-hole golf course. Really nice, big old trees and plenty of open space. That they obviously weren't making enough money out of it because they had to sell it off, and they've subdivided it all. So all these houses are, as I said, they're only 10 or 12 years old, something like that. Maybe a little bit older, maybe 15 years. But very nice. Really good suburb. Lots changed over the last couple of years for me. The end of 2022, I was coaching at a place called Burundara Tennis Centre, big tennis centre in Melbourne, probably the biggest. And Northeast Link, the government decided to build a freeway right through the tennis centre. So it was closed down at the end of 2022. So then I finished up there and wasn't sure what I was going to do. I could have gone off and coached somewhere else, but I felt like I needed to have a bit of a break. So at the end of 2022, start of 2023, I went on a trip and went to the Philippines just on my own, which was fantastic. Really enjoyed that. Good experience. So I went over there for 2.5, 3 weeks, I think, something like that. Anyway, so when I came back to Melbourne, started coaching again. Actually went into the National Tennis Centre in Melbourne, Melbourne Park, where they play the Australian Open tennis. I was coaching in there for a little while, and then I got offered a director of coaching role at a couple of clubs in Melbourne, so decided to do that. So at the end of term 1, 2023, so I did that until the end of 2023, and then didn't really work out. So at the end of 2023, I went on another trip. This time I went to Thailand. And if you go back and have a look at my previous videos, you'll see, because I took a few videos when I was in the Philippines, but Thailand I decided to do a lot more videos. So I was trying to do a video most days when I was in Thailand. I couldn't do a few days because I got food poisoning and got crook, but if you have a look at those other videos you'll see. But yeah, I tried to do as many as I could, and I really enjoyed it. So I was in Thailand for a month, which was great. And what you realise when you go away to those places like Philippines, Thailand, you understand how cheap it is over there. It's unbelievably cheap. Or I guess you get to realise how expensive it is here in Melbourne now. Things have gone up so much in Melbourne now. Everything. I really noticed the inflation, when I came back again. So when I came back though, a few things happened. I shifted out of where I've been living for the past 10 years and sort of ended a relationship that I'd been in, which was a massive change for me. And also, Mum is going to be turning 98 in July, which is only a month and a half away, and she's been doing fantastic. She's been living at home on her own all this time. Hey puppy. Yeah, so as I was saying, Mum, she's just about to turn 98. She's been living on her own for I think Dad died 8 years ago now, so she's been living on her own. She's been coping really well, but she's been finding it harder and harder. She can't really get around without a walker. I was coming up and doing her shopping, taking her shopping once a week, or doing online shopping. And so when I got home, a couple of things. As I said, I shifted out of where I've been for the last 10 years. I got COVID as soon as I got home, and Mum had a couple of falls, and my brothers and I decided that it was time. We were trying to sort of encourage her to go into a home to get help. And then she got up one morning and wrote in her diary that she thought it was time that she went in to a home. She couldn't cope on her own anymore, which was really, it was good that she made that decision on her own, because while I was away in Thailand, she did go into a place for respite for a couple of weeks, but she hated it, which was a bit of a worry, that she hated the place. But when she went into the place she's in at the moment, which is up at Healesville, she actually likes it, and the staff are really good in there. So I think that's the main thing, the staff are so positive. So that's been a massive change. Hello. Yeah, so big changes. So I've been sort of trying to get all the paperwork and work out what we're going to do, because it's if you're in Australia, it's pretty expensive once you go into these homes. Yeah, it's not cheap. So I've shifted into the family home, or where she's been living since 1990. She's been here, and she was a big gardener, so lots of gardening to look after. Alrighty, so I'm just about at the high point of my walk. I'll spin around and show you the view. Fantastic view. This is the Yarra Valley down there. So this is one of, I guess, the most famous wine regions really in the whole world, definitely Australia, but the Yarra Valley. If you're not aware of it or you don't know, Google it. Yarra Valley, lots of famous wineries. It's very popular, this whole region. So lots of mornings I come up here and you can't see down there, it's full of fog this time of year. The other thing that you see here is you see the hot air balloons. Like the balloons launch from just down there, and most mornings very early you can jump in a hot air balloon and go on a ballooning adventure. Lots of people do that. Alright, so getting back to the story. So big changes. So now I've shifted into the family home here, Churnside. I haven't been too motivated to get back into coaching. Like, I know I can coach, but I just haven't, just not too enthusiastic about it, that's all. So I'm just doing a little bit of coaching at the moment at the Q Tennis Club for a couple of friends that were at Burundara with me when I was at Burundara. But I need to make some decisions because I need to generate some income. I've just been living off my savings, and you know, they go down every week, so I need to generate some income. And what I'd really like to do is do more YouTube if I can, but I can only do YouTube, you know, if it's financially viable, I guess. So in order for that, I need a lot more subscribers than 500, that's for sure. But so what I want to do now, as I think I mentioned earlier, is do a video every day just to practice vlogging. I enjoy vlogging. It's good. I guess I've been doing it off and on for lots of years. I had my YouTube channel. But, you know, to do it properly, you need to really focus on it. So I want to do this every day. And I'll sort of tell you what I'm up to, what I'm thinking about. I've been doing lots of research on retiring in, in both Thailand and also Vietnam. There's a few places in Vietnam that look pretty good. I wouldn't mind going there and having a look, see if I like it. But yeah, so that's sort of where I'm up to at the moment. But as I said, I've got to do a lot more vlogs and see how I go. I guess the other thing that I love to do is I love all the new AI stuff. And it's just moving so fast. I did some videos in, I think, March 2023, so over a year ago, at the new avatars where they talk and they move their, it's lip synced, so you can write out a text script and these avatars will say whatever you want them to say, and they look very real. But even since then, last 14 months or so, it's advanced even a lot more, and it's going to keep on advancing. So it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference between a real person and an AI generated person. But I love all that new technology. I've always loved new technology. Been a bit of a tech head pretty much all my life. I got into the internet in about 1994, I think it was, 1995, when Netscape first came out. So again, you can Google that and see when the first Netscape browser came out. Before that, I actually had a thing from Telstra called Teletext, which was a dial-up. So I was into it way back then. and you know, I've always been into it. So I've been involved in different sort of companies. I've tried to start a couple of different things over the years, but they haven't really taken off. I've made some money out of a couple of different things, but nothing that really took off. So yeah, I'd like to continue working with the new AI stuff. I really enjoy that, and I think most people aren't aware of it still. There's more people are getting aware of it, but new AI tools can help you so much in anything you do, really. And I think there's going to be massive changes over the next couple of years with AI, and also with the electric vehicles and the battery technology. There's a guy I've been watching on YouTube that is predicting over the next, or by 2030, he thinks that batteries are pretty much going to take over. So at the moment we can generate a lot of electricity through the solar panels and wind turbines, but we haven't been using the battery technology. And of course the person that's leading in battery technology is Elon Musk. Tesla owns a big battery, you know, department sort of thing. I think they're the leading supplier now of batteries, large scale batteries in the world. I know Australia's got quite a few large scale batteries to help support the energy grids, and I think that's going to be just more and more over the next few years. So yeah, I'm really interested in all that stuff. Anyway, so getting back to what I'm going to do, I'm not sure. I know that I can coach tennis, but my heart's not really in it. When I'm doing it, I don't mind it, I enjoy it still, but it doesn't really motivate me. And I think you've got to enjoy what you're doing, because you know, I'm 61 years old now. I can't believe it, but time's going by very quickly, and I want to try to be doing something that I can do from anywhere. I guess with tennis you've got to establish yourself in a location and then you stay in that location. So with the online stuff I can do that from anywhere. So I'd prefer to do that if I possibly can. Over the last couple of years, especially when I went on my trips, I went to, as I said, I went to the Philippines, I went to Thailand. So there's lots of people over there, lots of Westerners that have gone over there to retire because it's so cheap to live over there, and they end up having a, I guess, a better lifestyle than they would back here in the West. So lots of Americans, lots of Australians, lots of British. So yeah, that's, I guess I didn't think that, you know, when I was back in Melbourne here working away every day, I wasn't really thinking about that. I guess you don't think too much as you're getting older, which I don't know, I probably should have, but you don't. Time goes by, you're concentrating on living your life and doing your things day to day, and time's going by. So I guess I wasn't thinking about it as much as I probably should have been. But when you travel, you really realise it. So this is a big hill here. It's good, sucking that oxygen into my lungs. The other thing too that you become aware of is, if you're around my age, or you're a bit younger or a bit older, more and more people you know getting gravely ill, or quite a few people have passed away. So, you know, when you're in your sort of 40s and probably 50s, you don't really think about that too much. You occasionally hear of someone, but 5 years or more, or you don't know what's going to happen over the next little while. No one knows. So you ask yourself the question, you know, do I want to keep doing what I've been doing for the past 35, 40 years? Do I want to keep doing that every day? Or is it time to make a big fundamental change? You got to weigh it up. What have I got to lose if I make that big change? Have I got a lot to lose? With my case, I know that I can always coach tennis. Been doing it forever. So I guess the good thing, the positive thing, is I can do that from anywhere. You know, there's quite a few jobs come up, and they're not only in Australia but in Singapore and Hong Kong and China. I guess, you know, those three, or Singapore and Hong Kong, would pay quite well. Australia pays really well for tennis coaching. So private coaching in Australia, in Melbourne, it can be around $100 an hour you get if you're, you know, working for yourself and you've got access to tennis courts. You've got a contract with a club or something, you know, it can be up around $100 an hour, or even a little bit more than that. If you're coaching for someone else, you know, you're probably going to get half that. So I guess in the past I've been at clubs where I'm the main person, I'm the club professional. So I did that for a lot of years, and I've also coached for other people. But when you're at the club and you're the main person, there's a lot more admin involved, and you know, it's a commitment. So I know that I don't want to do that. I'm just not motivated to do that anymore. I've done that before. So if I was motivated to do that, I know that I could make some good dollars doing that, but and then what? Yeah, it just doesn't motivate me. Where, you know, being full-time on YouTube, I'd love that. But I'm a long way off that. But I'm confident that I could do that, but I've got to put in the work. You know, I started playing tennis. I got good at tennis because I started playing tennis every day when I was 14. So if you're doing something a couple of hours a day every day, you improve and you keep on improving at it. So over a long time, you know, the main theory that everyone goes on is to become good at something, you've got to do 10,000 hours of practice. If you do 10,000 hours of practice at anything, then you usually get pretty good at it. It's just a matter of how good. So what do you guys think I should do? You can put your comments below and I'll reply to your comments. But that's where my head and my heart is thinking at the moment. I'm just not motivated to do the tennis. Once I'm on the court and I'm coaching people and helping people, I do like that. I do enjoy it. But I'm just not that keen to put in a lot of effort doing it. That's the problem. So I'm more than happy to put in lots of hours on the computer, creating videos and recording videos like this, learning about new AI stuff and exploring that. I really enjoy doing that. So as I said, no one knows how much time you've got, so that's what I'm thinking at the moment.